What's up, guys? Can you guys comment in the chat if you can hear me or not? I just put up a post, so hopefully we get some more guys coming in here. Can everybody hear me okay? And make sure that everything is working. This is my first time doing a live stream. Comment below, comment in the chat if you guys can hear me all right. I literally just got out here, put my microphone in it, and the microphone receiver stopped working. So it's going off to a good start. So, all right. Well, how's everybody doing? Hopefully, this works out. I've never done a live stream before, so I thought it'd be kind of cool for this Friday episode to try to update you guys with all the builds, all the behind the scenes stuff, and what we're going to do in this next coming year. I wanted to try to do a live stream before, closer to the beginning of the year, but it just didn't work out. We had a bunch of guys we had a bunch of stuff just happening behind the scenes, and I just hadn't had time to do it. So I figured now would be a good time. We're right in the middle of the C60 build, and I want to try to give you guys some updates on that and maybe some updates of what is going to be coming in the next few months here from Rustomod. I'm really excited for this year. Last year was insane. Want to thank you guys for watching, subscribing on all the builds that we have here. We had a ton new viewers of all the builds that we've been doing. We've been doing the Rambler, the Boosted Buick, and an awesome time building these cool cars for you guys. So hopefully you guys like all the builds that we've been doing. And I want to try to continue that path this year and try to do some more builds. So what's up, Zach? How's it going, buddy? It's cool to see you guys comment in real time because I can try to give you guys real feedback and we can try to have a conversation about what's going on with all the builds in the shop. So it'd be pretty fun. So, the plans for this year, I wanted to try to go over real quick at the beginning of the video, and then we can break out and we can do some questions and answers. I know I get a ton of comments about what the builds are, what we've been doing, and stuff like that. So, I think this would be a good opportunity. We can do some real back and forth between if you guys have built some stuff or have questions about what we're doing, the way we do things, or if you guys are building some stuff in your garage, maybe I could try to help you guys out with what you're doing. So the so for this year, I have a lot of stuff kind of planned, but it's kind of up in the air. So I do a lot of builds and stuff. What's up, Kyle? I do a lot of builds and stuff in my shop, and I've been trying to go out. Like I know you guys know, last year we went to SEMA, and it was awesome, and it was really draining trying to get the Rambler done for that, and it was a really awesome experience. But we just went so crazy trying to get that car done that we've been just going insane. So I want to focus on doing the builds this year and not necessarily trying to meet certain deadlines, which is also really good to have deadlines for builds, but I'm trying not to go crazy with deadlines this year and just focus on building. And I think that's what you guys really like to see, especially with the stuff that we have coming up. So this year, I'm really excited to start our '59 Ford Sasquatch project. I've been putting that build off literally since the beginning of the channel. It's the first video on this YouTube channel, and we have not really done a whole lot with that truck. And I really want to try to get that thing completed this year. That's one of my big goals. So I have everything to put that truck together. I just haven't really started it. It actually has a new chassis that I haven't even shown you guys yet. So I'm really excited to start that and show you guys all that stuff. If you guys aren't familiar with that truck, if you're new to the channel, that is a '59 Ford. It's the first year Ford actually made a four-wheel drive truck, and it's getting a 5-liter Coyote in it. And we're going to try to do that whole chassis swap on a pretty cool chassis that I'll have to show you guys in a little bit. I kind of switched routes on that project. I thought I was going to do one thing and then decided to just go crazy and do some really cool stuff with it. So excited about that. Now, with the C60 and with all the rest of the other builds, I'm almost done with this project. We're probably about 70% done. So Actually tomorrow I'm bringing the C60 up to the big shop and we're going to pull the cap back off and do some metal work on it. We're also going to do some wiring and stuff. So hopefully the C60 is pretty much complete in the next few months here. It was a pretty quick build, pretty easy build, but a lot of guys were commenting about how to do certain things, and that's kind of what made me want to start this live stream, is to maybe get some feedback of what you guys have of what you guys have to do, what you guys want to do, if you guys are doing a similar build like this, if you guys have questions, because I get so many emails and comments of guys doing a newer GM chassis on a older C60 or C10 or whatever chassis truck you're going to do. It's very simple. It's one of the easiest builds that I have done on the channel, and I'd love to share my knowledge with that. So the other thing that we are going to continue doing is the boosted Buick. You can see it up there behind me. That car, I got it done, and once running, it was pretty much done. It ran, did a few burnouts, but I'm not done with it. I definitely want to try to revive that build a little bit once we're finished with the C60. One thing that I am going to ask you guys maybe down in the comments is, what would you like to see more? So the C60 is, it's coming along. We're going to get that thing almost done. But once the C60 is completed, we have to start a new project. So here are my options, and I'll try to leave it up to you guys in the comments of what you guys want to see. But the Sasquatch has been pushed off for so long, and I really want to try to start on that project. But this year, Maryland International Raceway, our local track, is more mini bike content. I hear you, Jake. Um, the Our local track, Maryland International Raceway, is hosting the drag week. Is hosting drag week at our track. So that's kind of a really once in a few years event that I would like to do. But the problem is, one, I work a full time job, so getting off a week to do drag week would be a lot, and then doing power tour, which I've already signed up for. I'm hoping to do that with the C60 this year. Doing both of them wouldn't really be in my best interest because it's just a lot. And honestly, doing these trips and stuff, I think you guys would enjoy it. The views reflect that doing a full build is a little bit better than to going on a big trip, and it's actually a little bit easier on my end. So that's what be that being said, we can either do two things. We can either start the Sasquatch build once the C60 is done, or we're going to start the Buick and try to get that ready for drag week. So I don't know what we're going to do really yet. I'm kind of undecided, but maybe put it down in the comments of what you guys would like to see. I have a really big plans for the Buick. So either way, both of the car and truck will get done. But the Buick is going to be really cool. I have some big upgrades coming for it and some new sponsors to work with, which is really cool. But the Sasquatch truck I've been putting off, and I really just want to get it done because it's going to be really awesome as well. Also, a Coyote, I've never done a Coyote swap before, and we've been doing LS stuff, it seems like, every build. So I like to do something a little bit different. So maybe we put the Sasquatch in front of the Buick, skip out on Power Tour, because the Buick, I definitely want to do a drag and drive with it for sure. I think that would be so cool, especially in this thing. It would be a lot of fun, but it needs a lot of work to be able to get ready for that. So that's my plans, and hopefully we can knock some of those plans out. The Sasquatch is definitely going to get done, and the C60 is definitely going to get done. So I'm excited for both of them. Sounds like you guys are in for the Sasquatch, so that would be pretty cool. But so I want to try to answer some questions, and if you guys have questions on builds and stuff, then that would be cool. I'm here to help you guys. That's why I put videos on YouTube. So, what is your regular day job, and how did you learn to weld? A C60 is my dream build. That's cool. So, my regular day job, I work at a machine shop, and the shop that a lot of the older videos were filmed at, where we built the Rambler and stuff. I work there, and I'm a project manager, so I do a lot of CAD work, computer designing and stuff like that. Also managing all the projects that happen in that machine shop. And learning to weld, no, I just YouTube videos, and I literally have welded more on this truck than I have in my entire life. So if the cab flies off going down the road, it's probably my fault. So we'll see. It's not that bad, but I that's why I like to do these kind of projects is because I want to learn how to weld and learn how to fabricate a little bit better. And so I really don't have a whole lot of extensive experience with welding, but I do work with some awesome fabricators, and they have given me some tips on how to fabricate stuff, so I'm pretty excited. Have you looked into frame swapping an older CK Suburban onto a GMT 800 or 900 frame? Leaves me wondering if there uh, leads me to wonder if the rear position of the body would mount up as easy as the bed of the trucks. Yeah, so a Suburban onto a GMT 800 and 900 have this share the same wheelbase, and so just like if you're going to do a 68 C10 on a Tahoe frame, the length of the wheelbase on a Tahoe is the same length wheelbase within an inch of a short bed C10. So the wheelbase of a Suburban or an Escalator or Yukon XL is the same wheelbase as a long bed C10. So a Suburban would fit the same wheelbase as a long bed C10. It would fit onto a newer GMT 800 chassis. Like if you're going to do a Suburban on a or old Suburban on a new Suburban chassis, that would work. So I actually would like to do that. I think it would be really cool to find a single cab long bed Duramax and then put a Suburban body on it. I think that would be really cool. Or if you could find one of the 2500 Quadra Steer Suburbans. I actually had one of those back in the day, and that would be really cool to swap onto an old Suburban. That would be really sick. So I have a lot of my friends here in the chat that want me to talk about my mini bikes and all the stuff behind me. So if you guys are into mini bike content, let me know in the comments or in the chat, and we'll definitely film some stuff. It's actually a ton of fun ripping our dirt bikes and mini bikes. I have a Honda TL behind me, and I just got it. It's pretty cool. I think I might have put some E85 in the gas tank, and it might have eaten up all the carburetor and lines. So yeah, I might be down for a second, but I can try to fix it. So if you guys are interested in dirt bike content, maybe we'll do something with this. Um, More questions. Looking forward to see 60 on Power Tour. Yep, I hopefully we can make it. That would be really cool. That's my goal for this. Um, let's see. Gonna try to answer as many comments as I can. Someone said something about drag week. Sorry. Do you, will the Buick be doing drag week? That's what we're going to decide. So the drag week would be really awesome to do, and it's convenient that it's at our local track. So if the Buick is done in time, we will try to do it. If not, then I'll try to do Sick Week or any other drag and drive event because that's kind of my plans for the Buick is to do drag and drive events with it. I think it'd be really fun. And I don't know if you guys have watched Cletus McFarland's cheap car shootout, what they did with the El Camino and all the other cars. The Buick is literally like made for that, and it looks like it was so much fun. So that's exactly what I want to do with it. It really like influenced me to try to get the Buick done for drag weeks, but we'll see because I think it's more important to get the Sasquatch done. So we'll see. C60 is gonna be sweet. Yes. Patina party. So that's another thing I want to touch on and update. We are going to try to. So every year we do a patina party car show at Maryland International Raceway, the same track that is hosting Drag Week this year, which is really cool. So patina party is a show where rusty junk, like you have behind me, of all the stuff that we build, is going to have a big car show and we do events. We have a bunch of guys that come out and we build trophies for each individual category. And the categories are really funny. like, how did you even drive here? And all we just you have to look at the flyer. I'll put up the flyer. I put up the flyer on every video at the end. But if you go to rustomodgarage.com, I have all the information on Patina Party. But we're having that event August 10th this year, and I'm really excited for it. We have some big guys coming, which is exciting. Some reality TV guys are going to be showing up, which is going to be really cool. So it hopefully will be a really big success. We love there's guys that literally build cars locally and come to the show every year, and they've built some awesome stuff. So I'm excited to try to get that kind of stuff out there and just get the patina scene on the East Coast more known. And that's why I created the show. So hopefully you guys, if you're in the area, will come out and support Patina Party. It should be a lot of fun. Um, Yeah, Tukes and Tires will definitely have to be doing a collab. You need to come down to Patina Party, and we can have a good time. I know that a bunch of guys are coming out from all over the country, so I'm really excited. So, do you have a dream build? Maybe a 6x6, something like the C10 Slayer? I don't 6 by 6 isn't definitely not my dream build, but the unibody, it's actually outside, unfortunately, is my dream truck, and I definitely want to get that going. I guess I could talk a little bit about the unibody since I did one episode on it like once a year, and then I kind of put it off because I'm really torn of what I want to do with it. So the unibody truck has a Chrysler front suspension in the front of it, and it was really crudely put in. And I was originally thinking I was going to try to make it work and then drive the unibody, but it's not very good. Trying to find parts for that thing is really difficult. So I don't know. I don't think the unibody is really going to get back on the road with that Chrysler front end. I bought a motor, a transmission. I bought the entire donor truck for it. So I have something in the works with QA1 possibly to do a different front suspension on it. And I think that would fit it a lot better. Like my original plan for the truck was to basically recreate my 68 C10 doing an all-wheel drive build, but I had some really cool ideas with doing an all-wheel drive system on it. I wanted to try to use Corvette front suspension and Corvette rear suspension, which I'm still going to do on a build, but I don't think that is going to be the truck that I'm going to do it on because I rather it's just the way that the truck is, it's not really going to work out. I kind of feel bad cutting it up because it's a really cool it's actually a Forest Service truck and it's in really good shape. I got it from California, so it doesn't have a whole lot of rust on it. So if I hack it all up to do this all-wheel drive thing, I'd feel kind of bad, which is weird because I'm usually fine with that. But the unibody is kind of a little bit sentimental to me, so I rather do that on a different truck and then we can go crazy with it. It's something I don't really care too much about, and then do a just a nice cruising, good handling build on the unibody. Why not do a Crown Vic subframe on the unibody? But yeah, so I kind of have a thing with the Crown Vic uh, front ends and stuff on F100s. I'm just not really into um, not really into the wheelbase. The track width is too wide to me. You can't really run a deep dish wheel on a like on a Crown Vic suspension because it's so wide. So on the unibody, I just really didn't think that would be the best. I kind of want a narrowed front end, and they do sell like a narrowed front end for a Crown Vic. It's just really expensive, and if you add everything up, the QA1 stuff is a little bit more affordable than doing a custom front end. So I think the QA1 stuff, and I also would like to work with QA1 a little bit more in the future. They actually are going to do some stuff with the Buick and some other projects on the channel. So hopefully we can work with them on the unibody and then do their kit for that. But the thing is, we're actually going to have to do a chassis swap on it because they don't make a kit for that era unibody. They actually make one for a 65. So I think I'm going to get a 65, 66 frame and then try to make that work on the unibody and then put all the QA1 stuff on it is kind of my plan. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm still torn on the car or truck, so I don't really know. It's my dream truck, so I don't want to do it twice. Yeah, for S10, I was looking at S10s. S10's good because it's narrower. I was really close actually to buying a bag S10 and then lengthening it, and then that would go under it. So we'll see. I don't really know. I'm kind of up in the air. It would be more budget oriented for S10, and that would actually work pretty well. But the problem is, it's like my dream truck, and I don't want to do more budget stuff. Like, not saying that I can afford all this stuff, which I really can't. But the doing something that I'm gonna keep forever, I rather just do it right once, and that's kinda why I haven't been working on it as much as I probably should. I like the idea of the utility bed on the C60. So, if you measure from the problem with the C60 doing a, utility bed on it, and I mentioned that in the last video, was the bed is really long on this truck. If you guys remember, it's a single uh, cab obviously on it, but it was an extended cab frame. So the from the back of the cab to the back of the frame is actually 9 feet, so it's adding another foot in there, and that's not really a big deal. But if you get a utility bed, most of them, the wheel well doesn't fit really well in that big, utility bed body. So I'm trying to kind of make something work, and I've been looking at doing a flatbed. So I actually ended up scrapping the flatbed I had because it was just going to be too much work to try to make it work. So I kind of think I'm just going to make something since I haven't found anything that I like. And if I make it myself, I can make it exactly how I want. And then I don't have to really worry about it. But yes, the utility bed is really cool. And I have some ideas. Yeah, I know, Kyle. Yeah, the long Kyle. So Kyle came over the other day and he said to do the Longhorn truck, which is like a 9 foot bed um, Chevy truck that they offered, which was pretty cool. The problem with that is trying to find a bed, and then if I do, like, a regular truck bed, I gotta paint it, and then I gotta try to match the paint. Matching patina is weird. I kinda think the utility bed thing would be kinda cool because it doesn't really matter if it doesn't match, but the flatbed thing is kind of where I'm leaning towards just because I can make a flatbed, and then I can have an idea of making, like, a unit like a kinda uh, versatile flatbed where you can do boxes on it. So, and try to sell like shirts and do our patina party stuff is usually on the back of a flatbed, like all the trophies and stuff. So, I would still like to have the flatbed aspect of it. But if I could do detachable boxes on it, I think that would be kind of cool. So, I have a design. I'm actually working on it today of doing a custom bed on it. So, I might make something in the future to do that on the C60, but that's probably what was going to happen with it. I'll just end up making my own bed. So, that was really long-winded, but yeah, probably gonna make my own bed. Yeah, yeah, so the utility bed is definitely really cool. I think like a utility bed truck, if it was a single cab 8 foot bed truck, it would probably have a utility bed already on it. So I know the frame is only 1,500, but yeah, that would be a lot of weight for the 1,500 truck. If you make your flatbed fit the lower seating, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of ideas that guys have had by doing, a custom flatbed. I think the best way to do it, because you gotta think, I gotta keep this thing kinda light because 1, it's a 1,500 truck, and 2, if I wanna tow something with it, I don't wanna have a ton of weight over the back. So, a big commercial, like, service truck bed, like you're talking about, is gonna weigh a lot. So I think if I make it myself, I can try to conserve on weight, and then I wanna do some cool toolboxes. It's definitely gonna get some boxes on the side because it's a single cab truck. If I try to do power tour in just a single cab and a flatbed, I'm not gonna be able to have anywhere to put tools and stuff. So I'm kind of trying to make this like a road trip truck so I can put tools in it on the side and do that kind of stuff. So I have a really cool idea for a bed that you guys will see. I found a CAD model of a 66 C60 like on this grab CAD for free, which is pretty cool. And I found a 1500 Silverado frame, and so I put the 2 together in CAD, and I've been drawing up doing a custom service bed on the back of the or back of the C60, which would be pretty cool. And I'll go through that whole process in a video. I'm just still working on it right now. But besides the bed, I'm really I'm really trying to focus on just getting the truck running and driving, and then I can kind of work on it on the side and try to get that thing done. So as long as it runs and drives, it's a lot easier to work on. So I just feel more motivated and I can move it in and out of the shop and all that kind of stuff. It kind of really sucks pushing this thing around the shop. So, yep, exactly, Zach. You are right on the money. That's pretty much what I was thinking. Yeah, and like you said, reading the comments. He said, "You know, your vision is usable flatbed with toolboxes underneath, but I have some toolboxes that will detach on the top, so it'll still have that utility bed look, but then we can detach them, and then we can have a flatbed too. So it'd be kind of cool." Where's the more Mopar content? Um, Mopars are really heavy, and or they're really heavy. I was reading two comments. Mopars are really expensive, and I can't really afford a Mopar at this moment, but I would definitely love to do a Mopar. I know where a Demon is in the junkyard, so I'd like to do a Mopar content in the future. I know Zach is actually doing a Hemi on a car that he's building, which would be pretty cool. So I'd love to check that build out and then see how the Hemi stuff is because that'll be pretty cool. It seems to be more popular now that guys are doing LS swaps and all that kind of stuff to do Hemi content. So I'd definitely be into it. It's just trying to find a car to do it with. So, and I'm a really big Duster guy as well. So I kind of would like to get one of those. Thoughts on the Gen 3 Hemi? I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I'd probably put in it, or a Viper V10. I've been kind of into the Viper V10 thing. So real hosses drive Chevys. Yes, kind of. Unless you have a Unibody F100 or a Sasquatch. Everything else is Chevy. Um, all right. So the C60, I wanted to try to go over some stuff of what is going to be coming up next on that. So the C60 is the big project on the channel. It's been getting a ton of recognition, which is awesome. So next thing we're going to be doing is I'm actually tomorrow bringing this up to the shop and we're going to cut out the cab mounts that were on it because the cab mounts that are on the cab, they're all rotted off. So I'm going to replace those and it should be almost done. Once we get the cab back on the chassis, we're going to start wiring it. So it was really awesome that Painless is coming on board with this project, Painless wiring harnesses, and they are be using some of their products to show you guys how it is to wire a C10 slash cab, and that would be pretty sweet. So we can get the painless stuff in there, and then we also are really excited that we're going to be working with Holly on this project as well. So Holly has sent us a bunch of stuff to try to show you guys how easy it is to make an LS run. So I'm really excited about that. Holly also is on board with trying to make the budget boosted Buick a little less budget and a little more boosted. So I'm excited to do that as well. So I'm really super excited to kind of work with some guys that want to just build hot rods and really cool companies that are into what I am into, which is really cool. So I've always seen this truck. Yeah, ramp truck would be really cool too. So that's what's kind of neat about the C60s is there are a ton of them out there, and a lot of guys just don't really know what to do with them. And that's kind of what made me want to do this truck is because I see them all the time, but moving them is really hard, and then finding parts for them is really hard. So if you can find a newer chassis, it's literally took me a weekend to put the body onto the new chassis, and you can have a awesome truck for just a few weekends worth of work and some wiring, some little fabrication here and there, and you have an awesome truck. So I definitely think that it's going to be more popular in the future, especially as these videos come out. I know there's a bunch of other C60 videos on the internet that are gaining in popularity, so I'm excited to try to get those trucks out of the woods and into people's garages so they can try to work on them and get them back on the road. Even though they like this truck is not a big heavy duty truck, it's still back on the road. It still looks really cool. I'm still going to tow with it. It's going to definitely tow the Buick to the track and stuff. So I'm excited to put this thing back to work. A dually rear would be cool. So I was actually looking up how to do a dually rear on a 1500. Not that, I'm gonna tow, like, a bunch of stuff with it, but doing a dually rear on a 1500 would be kind of neat. I've been trying to find just stuff like that. The one thing I don't really want to do a dually rear for is because one, if I make this bed, then I probably have to make it a lot wider, and two, I can't run my Detroit steel wheels with a dually wheel. So I really love the look of it right now. So maybe we can build another truck and then do a dually on that. So that is kind of my plan. Once I get one done, I'm kind of done with it, drive it, and then try to build something else and learn from my mistakes on the next build. Not that doing a 1500 was a mistake, it's just what I could afford to at the time of doing this truck. I got my 67. Yeah, O2 Tahoe would be really good for a 67 C50. That would be cool. The thing is, if you do a C50, the Tahoe, I mean, it would be really cool. It would be a short bed, which would be kind of cool. I was thinking you could also do you could do a Suburban for if you wanted to do a long bed, and the Suburbans have a different rear end. They don't have leaf springs. Same with the Tahoes. They have coil springs on the back. So if you wanted to do a lowered look, that would look pretty cool. I was wondering if regular truck fenders would fit. Yeah, so the fenders on a 66, like this body style, C60 are different than a C10. So the fenders on a 60, C10 or 66 C10 would be a lot smaller wheel well openings. But it's a lot. The problem is with doing a newer truck like this, the track width is a little bit wider. So if you guys go back to my 68 C10 on an Escalade chassis, I had to run severe camber on it to be able to get the track width right and to be able to fit underneath the fenders. I ended up actually getting some different control arms to bring the wheels in so that way it would fit a little bit better. It's not crazy. It'll work. I mean, I've obviously done it and done the videos on it. But what's nice about the C60 is it's already really wide. So if you want to run a deep dish wheel, kind of like what I wanted on this, you can run as really wide wheel and you're not going to have to worry about rubbing fenders and stuff. So it's just one advantage of doing a C60, 50, whatever, bigger truck than doing a C10. Um, but that is the update in the shop. So if you guys are building stuff, comment it down below. What are you guys working on? I would love to hear back from you guys of what you are working on, and if you guys have any questions on builds. But that's basically the updates. We got the budget boosted Buick is coming back. The Sasquatch is beginning. We're finishing up the C60, and who else knows? Maybe we'll start the Unibody at the end of the year and try to get that thing back on the road too. I'm really excited. I don't want to buy any more projects. I'm done with projects. The Rambler I'm content with where it is. It's not really done. I guess they're never done, but I'm content with where that car is. So I really just want to start knocking out the list and just getting the C60 done, just trying to get all the stuff that I've already started running and driving and done, and then we can move on to some other stuff. All right. Well, if you guys have any, yeah, I know you can never have enough projects, right? That's what they keep saying. I definitely want to get me and Matt from Metal Massacre and Josh from Yeah Buddy Garage are talking about doing a shootout of an AMC Pacer, a Gremlin, a Pinto, and a Pinto. And I really want to get an AMC Pacer, so I'll probably have one of those in the future. But that is one of my weird dream cars. Currently building a '87 Toyota pickup. That's cool with a Lexus V8. That's really awesome. That's really cool. My buddy Lance has he actually ended up just selling it, but he had a Toyota Stout that was really awesome, and he made this whole chassis for it and stuff. It was really cool. There's actually a video of it on the early stages of the build on the channel a while back, but it was a super awesome Toyota truck. I definitely like to get into the mini truck thing too, which would be really cool. I'm really trying to find a Chevy Love, which would be awesome. But all right, so this is the end of our first live stream. I'm pretty happy. If you guys are think we should do this again, let me know. I was kind of thinking of doing live streams maybe at the beginning of every year, or maybe doing them twice a year, just to try to catch up with you guys, see what you guys are working on, and getting some feedback from you, how the builds are going and how what you guys are working on. So I put up YouTube channels to help you guys out, maybe with projects, give you some ideas of how to do stuff, and also to show you guys how you can build awesome cars in your garage without breaking the bank. So that's going to do it for this live stream. Thanks you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in a few weeks where we try to get this C60 almost done here. So it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited to get this truck back on the road, and it's going to happen really quick. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys later.